Chapter 2 of Freckle Juice. That night, Andrew had trouble sleeping. He kept thinking about Freckle Juice. Maybe the reason no one in his family had freckles was because no one knew the secret recipe. If they never even heard of Freckle Juice, then how could they have any freckles? It figures. Andrew didn't like the idea of paying Sharon for anything, and 50 cents was a lot of money. It was 5 whole weeks of allowance. But he decided if Sharon's recipe didn't work, he'd ask for his money back. It was easy. The next morning, Andrew turned the combination of his safe bank to just the right numbers. 4 on top and 0 on bottom, and took out 5 dimes. He wrapped them in a tissue and stuffed the whole thing in his pocket. He didn't have time to wash his ears or neck or anything. He wanted to see Sharon before the last bell rang. "Bye, Mom," Andrew called. "Andrew Marcus, wait a minute." His mother hurried over to him. She almost tripped on her long bathrobe. The curlers in her hair scratched Andrew's face as she checked his ears and neck. "Please, Mom, can't we just skip it just this once?" Andrew begged. Mrs. Marcus stepped away from Andrew. She pointed a finger at him. "Okay," she said. "I'll let you go this time, but tomorrow I'm looking again. And Andrew, zip up your pants." Andrew looked down. The zippers were a pain. "This afternoon when you come home, I'll be next door. Mrs. Burrows invited me over to play cards. You come get the key from me, okay?" "Sure, Mom. Okay." Andrew raced to school. He could hardly wait to see the secret recipe. First he'd look at it, and if it didn't seem any good, he just wouldn't pay. There's his mom, looking him over. Sharon was already at her desk when Andrew arrived. He went right over. "Did you bring it?" he asked. "Bring what?" Sharon opened her eyes real wide. "You know what. The secret recipe for Freckle Juice." "Oh, that. Oh, I have it right here." Sharon patted her pocket. "Well, let's see it." "Do you have the 50 cents?" Sharon asked. "Sure, right here." Andrew patted his pocket. "I'm not going to show it to you until you pay," Sharon said. Andrew shook his head. "Oh, no. First I want to see it." "Sorry, Andrew. A deal's a deal." Sharon opened her book and pretended to read. "Andrew Marcus," Miss Kelly said, "will you please sit down? The second bell just rang. This morning we'll begin with arithmetic. Nikki, please pass out the yellow paper. When you get your paper, begin working on the problems on the board." Andrew went to his seat. Then he took the tissue with 5 dimes out of his pocket. He held it near the floor and aimed it toward Sharon. She sat in the next row. Sharon stuck out her foot and stepped on the tissue. Then she slid it over until she could reach it with her hand. She bent down and picked it up. Miss Kelly didn't notice. Sharon counted the 5 dimes. Then she took a piece of folded up paper out of her pocket and threw it to Andrew. It landed in the middle of the aisle. Andrew leaned way over to pick it up, but he lost his balance and fell off his chair. Everybody laughed, except Andrew and Miss Kelly. Miss Kelly sighed. "Oh, Andrew, what are you up to now? Please bring me that note." Andrew picked up the secret recipe. He didn't even have a chance to see it. It wasn't fair. It cost him 50 cents for nothing. He handed it to Miss Kelly. She read it. Then she looked at him. "Andrew, you may have this back at 3 o'clock. She put it on her desk. "I don't want this to happen again. Do you understand?" "Yes, Miss Kelly," Andrew mumbled. "Good. Now let's get that arithmetic done." Miss Kelly wasn't bad, Andrew decided. She could have ripped up the recipe, or sent him to the principal's office, or even made him stand outside in the hall by himself. Andrew could hardly wait for 3 o'clock to come. He didn't bother counting Nicky Lane's freckles. Soon he'd have his own. When the second bell finally rang and the class marched down the hall, Andrew went up to Miss Kelly. She held the piece of paper, the white paper, and waved it at him. "Here's your note, Andrew. I have the feeling it's important to you, and from now on you must pay attention in class." Andrew took the recipe from Miss Kelly. "After tomorrow, I won't have any trouble paying attention," he promised. "Just you wait, Miss Kelly. I won't have any trouble at all." That's the end of chapter 2. All right. Here's the questions for Freckle Juice chapter 2. Okay, we're going to do the first 2 together, and then you're going to do the next 3 by yourself. Remember that we're using the question to start our sentence, and we want to write in complete sentences. So our first question, how many weeks did it take Andrew to earn 50 cents? So we're going to take our words from here, and we're going to use it, and we're not going to say take, we're going to say took Andrew, okay? So it took Andrew. Anybody remember how many weeks it took? How many weeks did it take for him to earn 50 cents? Let's see if I can move my paper back over. It took 5 weeks. It took Andrew 5 weeks to earn 50 cents. That's a dime a week. 1 dime per week. All right, so let's look at the next one. Where will Andrew's mom be after school? Does anybody remember what it said about that? Let me look in the book real quick, and I will read it to you what she said. Oh, here it is. It's right here. "This afternoon when you come home, I'll be next door. Mrs. Burrows invited me over to play cards." So, after school, where will his mom be? Andrew's mom, we're going to take will, put it here, will be Andrew's mom will be next door. And what's she going to be doing? Playing cards. So the next 3 questions are for you. Here's number 3. Why did Andrew not want to pay Sharon first? Do you remember what he said? What if the recipe wasn't any good? Why would he want to pay for it? So you need to tell me, why doesn't he want to pay first? Andrew did not want to pay Sharon first because why? Why do you think? Okay, that's number 3. So you're going to need to write it down. Then number 4 and 5, you're going to need to write those ones down too, of course. You don't have to write the question, just the answer. And number 4, the question says, describe how Andrew paid Sharon and how Sharon gave Andrew the recipe. So remember on that page, we're at all these moving things with your feet and catching them and tossing it back. That's what we're talking about. And then number 5, why did Miss Kelly take Andrew's recipe? And did he get it back? So that's what we want to know. If she took it, she did take it. Why did she do that? And did he get it back or not? So you write down those answers, or I'll put it like this so you can see them. If you need to pause it, you can. And then I'll be waiting for your emails back.